But if I want to give money to somebody else, why is there this third person who asks me for the brokerage or the commission? The deal is just between the two of us. Why is there a bank? Why is there that government? Why is there a RBI? Can't I and the person to whom I want to send the money, can we not do the deal between both of us? And while I'm applying for a loan, why do I need to give my entire history and geography to everything to the bank? Why is that needed? Hello, everyone, and welcome. DeFi, which stands for decentralized finance, is actually like an umbrella term which covers the entire gamut of financial services sector with the help of blockchain technology or with the help of cryptocurrencies. Now, the whole existence of decentralized finance is for one particular reason, and that is to disrupt the financial intermediaries which are there in today's world in the financial services sector. So, in this video, we'll look at what is DeFi, how it works, why it came into existence, and we'll look at all these specific applications and use cases of DeFi. Also, we'll look at how you can earn by investing in these DeFi tools. So let's start with this video. In today's world, if you want to apply for a loan, you have to tell everything about you to the person who is granting you the loan, right? You have to tell your age, your entire life, all each and everything about you, and then he decides whether you will be given that loan or not, depending on so many things like your credit scores and so many other things, right? But in the world of DeFi, if you apply for a loan, no information other than the information which is specific to that application for the loan application is required, and you are granted that loan with the help of blockchain. So there are no intermediaries, there are no banks, there is no broker in between, there is no such a third party app or a third party service or a third party customer care, nothing of that sort. And you can get each and every financial service with a click with the help of the blockchain technology. So this is the whole and sole reason that DeFi exists today, and it is prospering day by day because it is based on the system of blockchain. You can get mutual funds, your stocks, loans, you can lend money. All of this will happen on the DeFi applications, on the DeFi tools. So this is the basic idea of decentralized finance. If you're sitting at a coffee shop and you pay using your credit card, there is some bank or some credit card company who is actually having the authority over your money, and that particular company, in fact, is actually paying to the coffee shop owner. Now, when the deal is between the two of you, between you and the coffee shop owner, why does this particular credit card company or this bank need to intervene and earn some transaction charges out of this? This will be solved with the help of DeFi. Now, all these decentralized finance apps, they need some kind of a base. They need some kind of a technology over which various apps can be built, right? There can be an app which targets mutual funds. There can be an app into stocks. There can be an app which floats liquidity in the market. Like if you have got some amount or some cryptocurrencies with you, you can let it float in the market, and somebody who wants to take that loan from you can take it and you can earn the interest. So there are various kinds of applications, and all of these need some kind of a base, and this base or this base technology of blockchain is provided by one leading a smart contract provider, that is Ethereum. Ethereum is the second largest cryptocurrency. Actually, Ether, which is Ethereum's cryptocurrency, is the second largest cryptocurrency, and Ethereum is a network which allows various smart contracts on its blockchain. Now, what are smart contracts? And why is Ethereum called as a smart computer? Ethereum in itself is a computer, it's like a smart computer. And there are various kinds of contracts that you can make. Now, let's take an example. Let's say you need to buy a piece of land from your friend, right? in today's world, what do? We go to the registrar, we go to the municipal corporation, or whichever government body, that particular area, that particular land. But in the world of blockchain, this can be done on the network of Ethereum itself. You can design a smart contract, and this smart contract will actually define the deal between the two of you. So why do you need a third party agency or a third party system in place which is there just to guarantee the deal between the two of you? Right? In today's world, we believe in individualism. Why do we need to give that authority to somebody else to authorize, let's say, our transactions, our deals, our marriages, and all of that? So this is the purpose, and this is the whole and soul idea behind decentralized finance as well. So Ethereum is that network on which you can build various smart contracts, and Solidity is one of their languages on which Ethereum is based. And using this language of Solidity, you can actually make various smart contracts which are really easy to use, and they remain over there forever. So it's not like any government file or register which is stolen or is deliberately not made available, or there are torn pages of any government register. Nothing of that sort can happen once decentralized finance is has taken over, because everything will be registered in the blocks of the blockchain, and nobody has got control over these blocks of blockchain. They are immutable. So this is the idea of decentralized finance, and this is how Ethereum network, which provides smart contracts, can be used for various applications of decentralized finance. And this is actually the home ground for DeFi. Now, what are the most popular types of DeFi applications? Let's take them one by one. The first one is a decentralized exchange, which is also called as DEX. Now, what happens on a decentralized exchange is that the users can trade cryptocurrencies between themselves, and there is no third party intermediary in between. So there is no, let's say, Binance in between, and you have to pay some transaction fees to Binance right now, right? But in the case of a decentralized exchange, nothing of that sort is present, and hence this is a very good application of DeFi. The second application is stable coins. Stable coins are brought into existence to reduce the volatility of the cryptocurrencies. We all know that cryptocurrencies are really volatile. Bitcoin can shoot up from 20,000 US dollars to 60,000, and it can be really volatile, right? Nobody wants to put your hands into such a thing which is so volatile, right? Nobody wants to have money or have some collateral which is so volatile. Hence, stable coins came into the picture, and stable coins gain their value from something which is very stable. So it can gain its value. The underlying asset can be, let's say, a US dollar, or it can be some other currency of some other nation. And there are various stable coins that are built around such stable international currencies. So this is an application of DeFi again. The third application is providing a lending platform. Let's say if I have got some liquidity with me, I've got some cryptocurrencies with me, why not I pool it? Why not I make it available to each and everyone who is actually a part of that pool, so that if somebody wants to use it, he can use it, he can get a loan from me, and I in turn get the interest out of it. So this is how the lending systems work, and Compound uh, is one of the biggest lending platforms which are built on the DeFi rules. So how Compound works is that they allow users to pool money, and they in turn give them some tokens which are called as COMP. So this comp is actually the token which the users receive, and it has got some value. This is how these lending systems also work on the DeFi system. The next one is wrapped bitcoins, which are also called as WBTC. Now, let's say if you've got some Bitcoin with you and you want to make use of the DeFi system that is going around, so why not do that? You can send your WBTC, that is the wrapped Bitcoin, on the Ethereum network, and you can allow it on the lending platforms for the buyers to take. In this way, you can earn by your Bitcoins as well. The next application of DeFi is prediction markets. So how does this work? Let's take an example. There is a prediction to be made that will Trump win the election? Now that we know that he's already lost the election, but this can be one of the prediction which allows you to bet on certain possibilities, and you can earn a good reward out of this. And DeFi systems, decentralized systems, are working on this as well. And as I said, there will be no intermediary in between, and hence it will be between two people. The cost of prediction will be bared between two people. One will be the loser and one will be the winner, right? So it will be like that. So no intermediary or no broker in between in that case as well. Now there are some more concepts which are coming up on the top recently in the field of decentralized finance, and a couple of them are interesting. One is yield farming. Yield farming is again a concept which enables you to earn out of the ideal cryptocurrencies which you have in your wallet. So it is like whatever liquidity you have, you make it available to a pool of investors or pool of buyers or lenders, and earn some good commission out of it. Now, one more form of yield farming has sprung up lately, and that is liquidity mining. Now, what is liquidity mining? Let's say there is some new decentralized app in the field of DeFi that is coming up. So, decentralized apps are also called as dApps. There's a dApp coming up in the field of decentralized finance. So, the manufacturers of this dApp, they offer free tokens to the users so that maximum users adopt this new DeFi app and apply it. So these free tokens are actually called as allotting these free tokens is actually called as liquidity mining, and this is one of the buzziest way of yield farming lately. Now the most interesting feature of DeFi is composability. Now what is this? This tells us that the system of DeFi is actually an open source, so that anybody has access to that particular code, that particular programming language, which is on which this particular app is running currently. So I can go, I can watch it, I can use it. It's an open source. I can use it to build my own different DeFi app. This is called as composability. So if we take an example of a child joining those cubes and those puzzles, this is just like that. You can take pieces from the open source available data that is available on the networks of DeFi, and you can create your own decentralized application. So this is how the scalability of DeFi also improves. Solidity, as I said earlier, is one of the DeFi platforms on which you can earn and you can do yield farming as well. There are so many other networks or other apps that are building up. Earn Finance is one of them. Curve is one of them. Aave is one of them. And all these decentralized finance apps are really, really promising, and they serve various kinds of issues which we are facing now today in the centralized financial services sector. So to remove all these problems and hurdles, all these apps which I named and so many other decentralized finance, that is DeFi apps, are really going to change the world in the field of financial services. So no more brokerage, no more intermediary. If you want to do something with somebody, it is only the both of you and nobody else. So send money, receive money between the two of you, no intermediary in between. It is all stored in the blocks of the blockchain and you can have access to it. You can't change it though, but you can have permanent access to it. So no more financial scams as well, one can assume. So if you found this information valuable over here, please make sure that you like this episode, share, comment, follow, subscribe, and show your love in whichever way you feel comfortable with, and be a part of this family. Thank you for giving your valuable time and listening till the very, very end. Thank you, and I'll be seeing you again.